Hello and welcome. So last week there wasn't a video because I did run out of the pre-recorded videos that I'd done before we moved house. As you can see, I am in a slightly different location now, so we have moved. Things are still a little bit up in the air with where things are and all that kind of thing, so you will see whatever's behind me change in videos as we go forward. I'm not sure if I will have a video out next week. It just depends if I have the opportunity to do any filming, which I'm not sure if I will, but because we have got to the end of June and it is now July, I thought I would take the chance to do a nice quick video for my everything I made in June, because I didn't make an awful lot, but I made a lot of a very similar sort of thing. So the first thing that I'd finished in June is this cardigan. The yarn was a little bit thicker than I was really intending. I was trying to find a yarn that's similar to the Cotton Kings Sultan Shadow type yarn, nice and thin, light and 100% cotton, because I really like the yarn, but I wanted a yarn that wasn't from Hobby. This I got in a yarn shop in Cornwall while we were on holiday, and I started it while we were on holiday and then finished it when we got back off the holiday. Then I made another cardigan. This is made with a different yarn. I bought this a while ago with the idea of making a cardigan with it, but then I thought that it was a bit too fine. I wasn't 100% happy with the texture of it. It felt a little bit too coarse, so I didn't do anything with it. And then while I was waiting for some more yarn to get delivered, I thought, well, I'll give it a go. I'll see how it is. And I actually quite like it. This one is done as a granny octagon. The one before was a granny hexagon. So with the granny hex cardies, you make two halves of 6-sided granny squares, but they're 6 sides, so they're granny hexes, and you attach them together. With a granny octagon, you start off with a square or a rectangle or something at the back, and then build off that into a single piece. And I really like the method of this. It just takes a little bit of maths and trial and error to get the right sizes and proportions so that it fits you how you want it to. So this one's a granny octagon. I started the back off with 3 squares and then made that into a larger rectangle, and went from there. I really like granny hex and granny octagon cardigans because you can do them without having to do any sewing. As long as you know how to do the crochet join as you go method, you can do these without having to sew them together, and it's absolutely fantastic if, like me, you hate having to sew stuff together. Then I made another cardigan. So this one again was a hex. So this is like the green one where it's 2 sides put together. I think it works really well with this yarn because it means that the 2 halves are similar. It starts in the armpit basically and then goes out. I really like the colours of this yarn. You don't get to it in this cardigan because I didn't quite use enough yarn to get that far, but after the blue it turns pink as well. And then for the next cardigan, which I did a granny octagon, I used the remnants of the blue and pink from that previous ball of yarn. So this yarn is Yarn Smith's Headliner, and this is a really good dupe for the Cotton Kings the Cotton Kings cakes of yarn that are like this variegated and change colour or gradient yarn. And I'm really happy with this yarn. I'm going to keep buying more of it. I've got loads left over from making all these cardigans. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yarn specifically because it is quite fine and it is good for clothing, but I don't think I need to make any more cardigans. I've now made 5 and I think that's probably enough for now, so I might make something else. But I don't have to decide straight away, so it's not too bad. This, I did make it a little bit small, and since taking this picture I have added a couple of rows to each arm, but basically I miscalculated when I measured my arms and the sleeves, so they are a little bit snug on my arms, but I am working on toning up my bingo wings because I do want my arms to be a bit smaller anyway. So at some point this will fit me quite well. At the moment it's a bit tight. I could probably get away with it, but I would be sort of tugging at the sleeves and playing with them a bit too much and just feel a bit self-conscious about it. And the last thing that I made in June is a cushion cover, well, kind of technically a pillow case, but I had an old pillow that was lying around. I wanted to use the stuffing from it, and I wanted to have a pillow to sit on if I ever need it, because sometimes I get a bit uncomfortable if I'm sitting in the same position. So having a little cushion to sit on is quite handy. In fact, it's behind me here on this spare chair that's sat next to me. It took a few hours to do. I did it on the Sunday, so I had lots of sort of sitting around time anyway. I wish I had my sewing machine handy, because I would have liked to have done it on the sewing machine instead. It would have taken about 5 minutes to do. But I quite like hand sewing. It is a nice meditative thing, and it means I've got a nice aesthetic cushion to sit on rather than just a plain old pillow. The cover for it I've had for a while. I bought the wrong size when I was trying to buy something for something else. So it's like a 1 meter squared cotton tapestry thing, and I have quite a lot of them, as you can see from this photo and from this view you've got here. I like to cover furniture with them because they're really good at just being able to take them off and fling them in the wash if you need to. So I have quite a few of these. In fact, I've got some in my sewing stuff waiting to be made into stuff at some point. I've made trousers out of them. I might make like a... Excuse the dishwasher. I might make... Here we go. I might make like a jacket or something to go with the trousers at some point, but I'm not 100% sure. My craft room is not ready to be used at all. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we have moved house recently, and my craft room is currently the staging area for all our stuff. So it's just got everything in it that isn't already out, but we're going to start emptying that room out, and I am going to start using it at some point. So that might be my filming location in the future, or it might just be where I make things. We'll see how I feel as time goes on. But yeah, that's everything that I made in June. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's stuff that took quite a while to do. I now have more than enough cardigans to see me through the summer, I hope. In fact, the one I'm wearing right now is the 5th one that I made, but I finished it in July, so I will talk about that next month. I had wanted to finish it in June, but it was getting late into the evening on the 30th, and I knew that I needed to go to bed. I suppose I could have cheated it a bit and pretended that I'd finished it in June, but I like to have as much integrity as I can do, even though, you know, it's not like my videos are seen by hundreds of thousands of people or anything like that, but, you know, I didn't want to be dishonest. So thank you for joining me. If you have enjoyed your time here, please do give me a subscribe, give the video a like if you liked it. If you would like to find me anywhere else, the link to my link tree is in the doobly-doo below. Bye for now.